KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Tokyo 21, presented locally by IT&E.
News Headlines is presented by CALVO'S Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson and the Adahi Tano program. Cars Plus. Drive home in a brand new 2021 Hyundai Palisade equipped with Guam's only lifetime powertrain limited warranty. Call 477-7807 or visit carsplusguam.com. McDonald's of Guam, I'm Loving It, and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Starting now on Primetime, with the island's economic future uncertain, the president-elect today unveils a relief plan. Plus, Guam's governor signed an executive order relative to the island moving back to PCOR 2. And from court, trial began for the man accused for the July 2020 fatal shooting of Keith Castro.
Hafide and good evening, I'm Peter Santos. As Guam's economic future remains uncertain with the controversy over PUA, today, President-elect Joe Biden unveiled a coronavirus and economic relief plan valued at about $1.9 trillion. The proposal would provide hundreds of billions to speed up vaccine distribution and testing, as well as help millions of financially struggling Americans. Skylar Henley reports.
With close to 400,000 coronavirus deaths in the U.S., President-elect Joe Biden unveiled his rescue and recovery plan in the war against the pandemic.
The emptiness felt by the loss of life is compounded by the loss of our way of life.
The president-elect is proposing spending some $400 billion to vaccinate Americans faster and reopen schools, among other initiatives.
Tomorrow, I will lay out our vaccination plan to correct course and meet our goal of 100 million shots at the end of my first 100 days as president. This will be one of the most challenging operational efforts we have ever undertaken as a nation.
The president-elect called the $1 trillion bipartisan relief bill Congress passed in December a, quote, very important first step.
But I said at the time, it's just a down payment. We need more action, more bipartisanship.
His new proposal includes more help for struggling Americans, including $2,000 stimulus checks and aid to small businesses and local governments.
$2,000 is going to go a long way to ease that pain. During this pandemic, millions of Americans, through no fault of their own, have lost the dignity and respect that comes with a job and a paycheck.
The president-elect also said he plans to take action to extend nationwide restrictions on home evictions. Skylar Henry reporting for KUAM News.
Here are some of the highlights of the American Rescue Plan. Aside from the $1,400 stimulus checks, President-elect Biden is proposing a $15 federal minimum wage, expanded paid sick leave, extending moratoriums on evictions, $170 billion for schools, $15 billion for hard-hit small businesses, and $20 billion for hard-hit public transit agencies. Here at home, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero says she got a preview of the president-elect's plan during a conference call early this morning with the National Governors Association.
So this president's focus, Tyler, is a focus towards economic recovery. He's focused on helping businesses. He's focused on helping individual families. He's very aware about the struggles that we have gone through throughout this pandemic in terms of the anxiety and the fear that our people are expressing and are experiencing. I feel very relieved, and I feel very, I have to say, I feel our island is very much protected. And I think this administration is going to get the necessary, give us the necessary help for us to recover. And I feel really, I'm very optimistic.
Those with reduced hours should not submit claims just yet for pandemic unemployment assistance. Labor Director David De La Sola says that continues to be his advice as they work for an exemption with the U.S. Labor Department, which released new guidance over the weekend that disqualifies those who are not fully unemployed. Speaking today with members of the Hotel and Restaurant Association, De La Sola says he and Congressman Nicholas are now on the same page.
The congressman jumped the gun a little bit, but I do want to tell you that he reached out to me today and understands that I'm correct. I don't know what else to say. I'm hoping that we will get a resolution between me working some angles with USDOL, the congressman working some angles, and the governor working it, and we also have Saipan that has joined us with this fight because it affects us more since we don't have a UI program, and this is our only survival.
De La Sola says the new guidance does not affect the self-employed or gig workers. In certain cases, it also excludes businesses that are closed but keep on employees for maintenance. Government of Guam employees who have been teleworking head back to work next week Tuesday. As anticipated, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero signed a new executive order which declares Guam in P-Core 2 effective Monday. According to the latest directive, GovGuam offices that suspended public operations will reopen. However, agency directors have the discretion to authorize employees to telework when appropriate. All those who have official business with GovGuam must wear a mask to enter offices. As we reported, beginning tomorrow at 8 a.m., indoor dining at restaurants will be authorized at 50% occupancy, while outdoor dining increases to 15 people. Additionally, the new executive order also allows 50% occupancy for amusement parks, bingo halls, and game rooms effective Saturday morning. A 3-member advance team from the Guam National Guard has left for Washington today to join some 20,000 other troops. They're being called to the nation's capital to provide unprecedented security for next week's presidential inauguration. Nestor Lecanto has more.
The Capitol came under siege January 6th by pro-Trump supporters and right-wing extremists looking to disrupt the January 6th congressional confirmation of President-elect Biden's victory. In all, more than 30 Guam Guard troops are being deployed to D.C. to help ensure peace and order. Guam Guard spokesman Captain Mark Scott.
Every state is answering the call there's a total request for about 15 to 20,000 National Guardsmen and women from across the country. And of course, since we're a little bit smaller in population than most states and territories, our number's a little bit smaller. All the soldiers of this platoon-sized element, they're all volunteering to go. No one was forced or voluntold, and they're choosing to answer the call.
Scott says the advance team will be meeting with security organizers so that the rest of the Guam troops can hit the ground running.
They're going to work out the kinks of all the logistics, what we're going to eat, where we're going to stay, where we're going to get our duty assignments. And we'll find that out as we go. But in the meantime, whatever it might be that they'll end up doing, whether it's a traffic control point on an intersection or a blocked road, or possibly heading out water to people on the sidewalks, who knows? We'll be ready for whatever comes our way.
Scott says Adjutant General Esther Agagi addressed the soldiers yesterday, and they're getting ready for any contingency.
They're spun up. They're at the range this morning. Most everyone was there at 4 o'clock down at Kadam Range on Anderson. And they're putting all their preparations and training into it as we can.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
As our soldiers prepare to deploy to Washington, D.C., Governor Lou Leon Guerrero, who is the Commander-in-Chief of the Guam National Guard, says it's our duty and responsibility to help protect our capital, adding that this is a great statement about the competency and readiness and strength of our National Guard.
I just hope that they remain safe. I wish them the best, and I know that they will make us proud in protecting our nation's capital. I appreciate and I'm very grateful for their stepping up to the task.
The Commander-in-Chief says a total of 39 Guam National Guard members will be deployed. In the Superior Court, opening statements were made by both parties in the murder defendant Joshua Palacios trial. Palacios is on trial for his alleged role in the July 2019 homicide of Keith Castro. KUAM's Adriana Cotero reports.
It was the evening of July 28, 2019, when 33-year-old Keith Castro was beaten, attacked, chased around a Jigo residence, and then fatally shot. Autopsy results determined the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the torso. 37-year-old Joshua Palacios is accused of pulling that trigger. He appeared with defense counsel Tom Fisher for the first day of his trial before Superior Court Judge Vern Perez. Assistant Attorney General Michelle Canto argues the defendant's guilty of the offense. In Canto's opening statement, she tells the jury there are numerous people involved in the case. Canto states Keith Castro was at his friend Matthew Sablan's home when the other suspect in the case, Thomas Titano, also known as Mossy, arrives.
Thomas had decided to take a fight with Keith Castro. So Thomas started attacking Keith. But then the defendant arrives with a girl named Jaylene Cabby. He gets out of his car and starts kicking and punching Keith Castro. And you'll hear witnesses tell you that they saw the defendant chase Keith Castro around the house, attacking him, while Keith was trying to get away.
Canto states that Castro falls to the ground and Palacios continues to attack the victim. He then allegedly pulls out a gun and shoots Castro. As we reported, Titano was at large for a period of time after the incident. He eventually turned himself in, and this led to the arrest of Palacios and Jaylene Cruz Cabe. Further, Canto presents this framework in the opening.
Tomas turns himself in and admits that, yes, he was there that night. And yes, he did attack Keith Castro. And with this information, the police was able to find Palacios. They find him at a house in Vergara.
According to Canto, it's at this house where officers find Palacios lying on a bed with Jaylene Cabe and located the murder weapon underneath the mattress. Titano has since pled guilty to aggravated assault charges for his role in the homicide. He entered a cooperation agreement with the government. On the defense, Attorney Fisher mentions others connected to Titano in the case, who he alleges are responsible for the death of Castro.
Josh Titano and Mossy Titano, these are brothers, and the evidence is going to show that both of them were very angry at Keith Castro. You're going to hear about an individual by the name of Johnny Rosario. And Johnny Rosario and Josh Titano are boyfriend and girlfriend. Now, Josh hated Keith Castro because he had revealed Johnny Rosario's involvement with crystal methamphetamine. And this was his girlfriend. And he didn't appreciate the fact that Keith Castro had brought past sexually to the world, as Johnny Rosario was, as he put it, the evidence is going to show, he even called her a panty-down chemist.
Fisher paints the picture that the Titanos, along with Candid News Group's Johnny Rosario and Troy Torres, plotted a scheme to frame Palacios for the crime. Allegedly, they wanted to obtain a cell phone by way of a search warrant that was inside Castro's truck.
Johnny and Troy and others wanted that SIM card because they believed that Keith was in possession on that SIM card, videos, statements, and so forth. Had evidence of drug use, drug manufacture, sexual abuse of a minor, and rape. The evidence that they believed was on the cell phone was explosive.
The first witness called to the stand by the government was a Guam Police Department officer who responded to the scene.
When you arrived at the scene, what did you see? Oh, the scene was kind of chaotic. There was a male doll on the ground. There was a female screaming. Seemed like two other males were pacing. But immediately my attention was drawn to the male on the ground because she seemed to be injured.
Castro was a son, a brother, a husband, and a father to 3 children. This trial is ongoing. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Adriana Cotero.
Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
Social distancing may be the new norm, but connection will always be our tradition. Through good times and tough times, we remain connected with you. Masks may be the new fashion, but protection will always be our style. You can always count on us to protect the things that matter the most. Sanitizing may be the new routine, but caring will always be our practice. We care about your loved ones and the things you value the most. And as we welcome our new normal, one thing remains certain: we will always be here for you. We're open and ready to serve you. CALVO'S Insurance, a legacy of trust.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Gila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Enjoy honey sesame chicken breast at Panda Express. Be the sweetness. Be the freshness. Be the crispy tender sesame seed perfection. That's how you find your sweet spot. Have it delivered from Panda Express today.
Micronesia Mall.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Members of the local FSM community are encouraged to participate and watch the virtual town hall meeting that will be streaming live Saturday at 9 o'clock in the morning. The governor's chief medical officer, Dr. Felix Cabrera, and other members of the governor's physicians advisory group are scheduled to conduct a presentation and answer questions and concerns about the COVID vaccines. Casanova Nakamura, vice president of the FSM Association of Guam, explains some of the frequently asked questions amongst the FSM community on the link.
What to bring to those sites, and what if they already had this COVID-19, are they going to take this shot or not? Right. So these are some of those questions that we want to get clarification through tomorrow town hall meeting.
Public Health has expressed low vaccination turnout for those that qualify in the FSM community. FSM Consul General TERESA FILIPIN says the reason is probably due to a lack of information amongst their members.
We need to get the word out, and that's what we're trying to do. There's not enough information is reaching the community, so not people, and also there are concerns about the vaccine, about its safety, its side effects, and all of that. So that's why we're working with the governor's office, and they're putting together a panel of doctors.
The virtual town hall meeting will be streaming live on the FSM Association of Guam's Facebook page. You can also catch the stream on KUAM's Facebook page as well. Public Health will also be doing an outreach rapid engagement testing tomorrow at the Santa Ana subdivision in Dedido from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Public Health resumes vaccinations at Ukuru High School Monday morning. This clinic, however, is for those who are in the Phase 1B category or those 75 years of age and older who are due for their second dose and received their first dose of the Pfizer vaccine on December 28th. If you are in this category, you are reminded to bring your immunization card to the vaccination clinic. The second dose is on a first-come, first-served basis. No information has been provided yet on the additional clinics. 13 new cases of COVID-19 were identified out of 449 tests performed on Wednesday, January the 13th. 2 cases reported recent travel history and were identified in quarantine. To date, there have been a total of 7,457 officially reported cases of COVID-19, with 124 deaths, 115 cases in active isolation, and 7,218 not in active isolation. There are 6 coronavirus admissions in island hospitals, with 3 patients in the ICU and 3 on ventilators. Guam's CAR score is now at 1.2. On the Guam Department of Education front, Superintendent John Fernandez ensures that safety protocols will be in place, including mandatory masks or face coverings on campus, temperature checks upon arrival, physical distance enforcement, frequent washing of hands, and if a child is sick, for the parents to have them stay at home.
We are intent to try to serve those families who do want to return to face-to-face instruction because we know that those families that are opting to do so are going to be many of those families that need that face-to-face instruction for their particular situation where hard copy and online learning and just isn't available or isn't working for them. So it's a lot of balancing that we're doing across the board.
Other safety protocols include the installation of hand sanitizing stations that will be set up throughout the campus, frequent cleaning of common and high traffic areas and surfaces, safety signs and protocols will be posted throughout campuses, and COVID health education will be provided for students and staff. A recent memo sent out amongst Port Authority of Guam employees found its way to the media. It cited a previous memo sent on December 30th regarding the authority's drug-free workplace program, giving all port employees a reminder that the workplace is no place for drugs or alcohol. According to the memo, the port conducted random drug testing this past Monday.
We did a random drug testing based on reasonable suspicion for one division. 24 people were tested, as you just mentioned. All 24 came back negative.
According to Port Authority General Manager Rory Respicio, there were a couple more employees scheduled to be tested.
There were 2 evaders. One employee said he forgot something in his car, and so he left. The other employee said that I forgot, I'm coughing, I'm not feeling well, I have to leave. And in the past, if an employee does not take the drug test, apparently they go on sick leave for 5 days and they come back. But I was very clear to HR, you call the 2 of them up and advise them that they're already evading the drug-free workplace policy, and so that's grounds for adverse action.
The 2 port employees then resigned on their own accord. Respicio says that due to the nature and timing of their resignation, they will be ineligible for any reemployment rights. As for other cases of drug use at the port, Respicio says that there were 3 port employees that tested positive in separate incidences, one of them remaining employed by the Port Authority. Upon positive drug test results, the employees were given the option to seek treatment at Guam Behavioral Health.
Well, I chose to take the maximum consequence allowable. It was still very financially painful for that employee. He went to Guam Behavioral Health, did the intake, did the drug rehabilitation, and I have about 10 days from the time I issued the notice of proposed adverse action to taking final action. And so within those 10 days, I had him tested within those 10 days several times, and he came back negative.
Respicio says that these matters are handled on a case-by-case basis, with some offered a chance at redemption. On the other hand, Respicio says that he's not afraid to terminate if he feels that it's the right call.
Last Saturday, when an employee come to work at 6:15 in the morning, he was drunk, inebriated, and Port Police saw him wobbling. They did a sobriety test. He failed. I terminated him.
While employee drug use seems to happen in isolated cases, Respicio says that rumors circulating about drugs making their way through the port and onto our streets are just rumors.
We've heard long-standing chatter that the drugs are coming out of the port. I'll have to say that for my entire 2 years, from an operations perspective, we have no evidence of the drugs being facilitated by the port employees, and certainly there are always going to be active investigations to audit those processes.
When it comes down to it, Respicio says that the Port Authority is a family, and because of that, he encourages all port employees who may be struggling with addiction, be it by alcohol or drug use, to come forward and seek the necessary treatment to help get them back on track before it's too late. Preparations are underway by the Guam Attorney General's office to argue the multi-million-dollar ORDOT dump case before the U.S. Supreme Court. Gov Guam is suing the Navy to pay for its fair share for the cleanup of the dump site that the military started after the war. The High Court agreed to hear the case last week. It's one of a small fraction of cases it agrees to hear each term. AG Levin Camacho admits the lawsuit was a long shot to be heard.
We're extremely excited. We're going to have to talk now. We're set for arguments in April, maybe mid to late April. That's what we're looking at now. But the tough road is still ahead. We still have to brief the issue and we still have to win. if we want to pursue our case against the Navy and to collect their share of cleaning up Ordon. We're estimating $160 million, of which to date the Navy hasn't paid anything.
The government of Guam was found to be in violation of the Federal Clean Water Act because of toxic waste from the dump. It was ordered to pay for the closure and cleanup of ORDOT and the subsequent opening of the Lazen landfill. Stick around, more primetime news when we return.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
We get it. Living to the fullest is tough during COVID-19. You don't need to do it alone, and everyone needs a hand right now. We are here. Feeling overwhelmed? Call 647-8833 and let's talk. Mangagihem is a project of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
Enjoy honey sesame chicken breast at Panda Express. Be the sweetness. Be the freshness. Be the crispy tender sesame seed perfection. That's how you find your sweet spot. Have it delivered from Panda Express today.
Aganya Shopping Center.
We have a warning for residents planning to head to the beach over the 3-day weekend, especially if it's on the eastern side of the island. The National Weather Service has issued an advisory warning of a high rip current risk in effect for Guam, Rota, Tiyan, and Saipan on the east-facing reefs. The advisory is in effect until Monday night. The NWS warns that rip currents can sweep even the best swimmers away from shore into deeper water. If you're not a good swimmer, it's best to stay out of the water. If you're caught up in a rip current, relax and float. Don't swim against the current. Swim in a direction following the shoreline. If you're unable to escape, face the shore and call or wave for help. A virtual proclamation signing was held today via Zoom and on the governor's Facebook page acknowledging the airport's 45th anniversary. GIAA Chairman of the board, Brian Bomba, stated how the airport has a critical role to play in the economic recovery of our tourism industry, as well as the quality of life in our community. Meanwhile, Governor Lou Leon Guerrero expressed her appreciation towards the airport's exemplary work in evolving their process to protect the island, especially during the pandemic.
I am so proud and impressed by the actions and the resolutions and the efforts that the airport has done to continue in providing us a safe community.
Prior to the pandemic, the airport saw record tourism arrivals, and we were well on our way to welcome nearly 2 million visitors a year. In regards to the CDC guidelines that will be in effect beginning January 26, that would require a negative PCR test within 72 hours for all passengers entering the United States. Executive Manager of the AB Wonpat International Airport Authority, John Kanata, explains why they're still working with public health on what their guidance will be, as it is public health that will be leading the efforts.
Now they say that Guam is not affected by that, where passengers coming from leaving Guam to go to the U.S., it's not required of them. However, we do have the issue of when we say coming into the U.S., we have people coming in from Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and Philippines. Are we going to subject those passengers before they come to Guam to be tested before they get onto the aircraft. So that question has been posed already, and we're waiting for public health to give us guidance if we're going to, where we're going to go with that guidance from CDC.
Kanata says they're still targeting next week to implement rapid testing at the airport. However, that may be put on hold for a bit due to new CDC guidance. The Binex testing kit that was supposed to be used would now have to be purchased. He says public health has the money to purchase the kits. They're just waiting to receive them in order to move forward. Be sure to stick around for our Cold Stone Creamery birthday shoutouts.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
It's Friday, it's the end of the work week, the weekend is just upon us, but happy birthday on January 15th to Ben Arceo, who turns 90 today. Happy birthday to Dad, Grandpa, and Tata, from the children on Guam and around the globe. Senor, we hope you have a fantastic birthday, and we wish you and your family the very best. Trevin Vince Gonzalo, happy birthday number 3. We love you so much, Trevin, from your brothers, Sissy Trinity Joy, Mom, Dad, and the family. Equally happy birthday wishes going out to Jude Regis, who celebrates a birthday today. Your shout out says, we love you and wish many more wonderful blessings to come your way. Happy birthday number 11, the big 1-1, to Calarain Metanani. We wish you the happiest day. Wish we could be together to celebrate. Missing you always. Say Nana and the family, who say they love and miss you. Aiden Ferrara, happy birthday blessings to you. Cheers to 23 and an abundance of blessings, love, and good health. And also happy birthday to someone that we've featured on our program right here on KUAM, Tamara Cruz. Happy birthday, Tam. You're an inspiration to all nurses and frontliners everywhere. Thank you for your dedication to the patients at the Guam Memorial Hospital. We're very proud of you. We love you, and God bless you. Love coming from your family, friends, and the Burkhart familia. Happy birthday, each and every one of you. We hope you have a fantastic day.
Remember, you can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and your birth date. It's that time of the week where we announce the winner of the yummy Cold Stone Creamery cake.
This week's winner of a yummy Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake is Rosalie Paige Uggan Flores, who was born on January the 12th. Rosalie, congratulations! Happy extended birthday, and we'll be in touch with you to let you and your family know when you can pick up your prize.
That's going to do it for us here on Primetime. I'm Peter Santos. Thanks for watching. Good night.